Okay, so No BS. Ironic name, considering he spouts nothing but nonsense. Has a video entitled Borat sequel is set to bash Trump Pence ahead of the 2020 election, and then there's a yawning emote. No BS. Did you see the first Borat movie? Like, its entire shtick was making fun of, like, Republicans and dumb middle Americans. Like, there's one scene where they meet with a group of feminists, but they aren't really making fun of the feminists. They're just doing a funny situation where the idiot Borat, who's backward and stupid, doesn't understand feminism, right? The entire first movie is mostly bashing dumb people, and it even has plenty of jabs directly at right-wingers and George W. Bush. Do you not remember the famous scene where he's at the rodeo and he says, like, "May George W. Bush drink the blood of every man, woman, and child of Iraq." And they all cheer. That's a criticism of George Bush. No BS. I don't know if you've seen the movie. We support your war of terror. Yeah, Borat's a good movie. Anyway, for those who don't know, a Borat sequel is coming out. It's gonna come out in a couple weeks on Amazon Prime. It looks funny. Sacha Baron Cohen's a funny guy. I'm sure it'll be entertaining. And probably have some very interesting, like, Borat-style interviews. They don't understand Borat like they don't understand The Matrix. Yeah. So let's see what No BS has to say about the fact that Borat is going to literally be doing what Borat did, years ago when the first one came out.
Hello and welcome back to No BS.
It's so embarrassing.
Today we're talking about a 2006 film that is getting a delayed sequel that's coming out right before this U.S. election. We're of course in the middle of election season here. We're only 1 month away to vote for the new president of the United States, which could be the incumbent. It could be the old president Donald Trump winning re-election, or it very well could be Joseph Biden, the old man, the old guy who could barely get his diapers on to go to debates and go out.
Joe Biden and Donald Trump are like the same age. Joe Biden, age 77, and I think Donald Trump's 74. They're only like 3 years difference, and Donald Trump is much less healthy. So, just seems weird to me when people... It's fine to say both of them are too old. I agree with that, in fact. I feel like we live in a friggin' geriocracy where everyone in Congress, except for like 2 or 3 people, are really, really old and are out of touch. And both presidential candidates are old and out of touch. I agree. But to criticize one for that and not the other just makes you look like a partisan hack, right? They're both way too old. We can all agree on that. But if you single out Joe Biden, you just look like an idiot.
See the people that he wants to vote for him. So we're in the middle of election season, and I found a very interesting article about a new sequel to the famous 2006 film called Borat. Borat, of course, was a famous character played by Sacha Baron Cohen, and people probably remember this movie a lot if you were around and of age back then. I personally remember 2006 because I was in college at this time, and I remember the film premiered at our school early on because they used to premiere movies. They probably still do. They premiere these movies and give them a little demo.
I was 12 and I saw the movie. I was probably too young to see it, but I did. I thought it was funny. Watched it recently with Baha because she'd never seen it, and I wanted to watch it before the sequel comes out. I still think it more or less holds up. I still think it's a pretty funny movie.
At colleges to see if people like them before they're initially released to the public at large. And that happened with Borat when I was in the university, and it also was a cultural phenomenon. You can't overstate how big...
That's true. If anyone doesn't remember, oh my god. I was like in middle school, or whatever I was at the time, and oh my god, the people being like, my wife, like, and doing a Borat voice like it's a joke in and of itself. That was exhausting. Lots of Borats that Halloween, too. Mostly adults, but...
big of a deal Borat was. It's kind of actually old school now, and I know the quotes can kind of seem dated. You say something like, all right, very nice, very nice. Basically, Borat is this kind of foreign character, this kind of like Eastern European, maybe like Middle Eastern kind of character. He's kind of like nondescript nationality.
It's not nondescript. He's supposed to be from Kazakhstan. Logarth with 10 bits. The Taliban endorsed Trump for president. Yeah, that's a good endorsement. He's got the trifecta: the Proud Boys, the KKK, and the Taliban. It's the golden triangle of dumb fuck people on the right.
And essentially, it's used by this comic to make fun of stuff, and also it gets political a little bit, like not.
What? Ah! What do you want? The whole movie is so political. What are you talking about? The whole bit is making fun of dumb Americans. And I'm not saying all Americans are dumb, though I do think many are. It's making fun of dumb Americans who have these ridiculous stereotypes about people from other places in the world, and seeing how ridiculous you can get with this character and have them still believe that this is how you are because you're not American. The entire thing is political, and if you don't see that, you are a moron.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Scratch that bit. Most of Cohen's career is political, right? Like, everything he does is political. Why do people on the right think the only political thing he just started being political with This Is America? Borat and Bruno are political. I've never seen any of the Ali G stuff, so I don't know about that. Dr. Gamble with 100 bits. Great vid quality. I love that it's just still a poorly photoshopped man upon a poorly photoshopped bullhead with a poorly photoshopped MAGA hat on top. You'd think for someone so into his work, he would put more effort into its presentation, but he was like, nope! That's what they'd be expecting. Yeah, Ali G was very political. Okay, I never saw it, so. I know there was a movie, but I also know it was something that he did on TV or something. Live Lynn, thank you for hosting. Appreciate it.
Too much, but it's kind of about like international affairs. It's about other countries. It's about like the differences between them and us. And it was just a really famous
not really. It's not supposed to be a commentary. Oh god, does he really not get Borat? Do right-wingers watch Borat and go, ah ha ha ha, Eastern Europeans, so stupid? No, you're the exact kind of person the movie is making fun of. They make a caricature of what dumb people think some former Soviet bloc country might be, and then they present it to people as if it's real and see if they think that's true. You're not supposed to see the movie and go, ha 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 ha, Europeans, you're so crazy. You're supposed to see it and go, oh, this is like a terrible stereotype some dumb conservative has about Eastern Europeans, and then you put that in real life and comedy ensues. Like, you're not supposed to see the movie and be like, ha ha ha, Europeans, so crazy. No. Nope. The point. Your head.
Comedy from 2006. Like I said, those quotes are like pretty overdone at this point. They were like the biggest thing ever when this movie came out. It was like super huge. So I wanted to stress that in this intro and then talk about the sequel some more, because the sequel is sounding like it's going to be disappointing, and it seems like the creator has kind of...
Ali G had Kent Hovind on. You can link. I don't think I'll watch it though, because I'll probably get dinged on YouTube for copyright.
Jump the shark. It says Borat sequel with Pence name and title to be released before 2020 election by Amazon. So
yeah, it's called, let me see what it's called. The premise, if you haven't seen the trailer, is Borat, after Borat comes back to Kazakhstan after... Oh god, it's weird how much he's aged. After Borat goes back to Kazakhstan after the first Borat movie, he's disgraced because it makes Kazakhstan look bad. So now it's like 15, however many years later at this point, 14, 15 years, and he wants to go back to America to prove that he can, like, be good or something, and he also brings his daughter, who is, I don't know who's playing her, but Borat has a daughter, and he brings her to give as a bride to Mike Pence. He wants to give Mike Pence his daughter as a bride, and that's the premise of the movie, as much as it's just, a framing device to link the different bits. Did Borat marry his sister in the movie? At the end of the original Borat, he marries a woman from America, a prostitute he met while in America. I don't know if that'll come up in the sequel. It's called Borat, subsequent movie film, delivery of prestigious bride to American regime for make benefit once glorious nation of Kazakhstan, also known as Borat 2. I think it looks funny. It'll probably be funny.
So there's a lot of red flags here. First of all, it's specifically going after Mike Pence, which indirectly is going after President Trump. And
I don't know how indirectly it is. Did you see the trailer? Borat literally dresses up as Trump. It looks funny.
Republicans. Now, that's something I don't remember from the original Borat. I might have to refresh myself.
Yeah, maybe go watch the movie before you talk about this and sound like an idiot. Why does No BS not do the minimum amount of research? You wouldn't even have to go watch the whole movie. Just to go watch the trailer for the original Borat, and they should have some of that stuff in the trailer. It's so frustrating. He's like, I haven't seen this movie in 15 years, but I definitely didn't notice any political underpinnings when I watched it, so I guess I should just do this review this video talking about the sequel and how it's all political, without even glancing at the first Borat's Wikipedia page. 5 seconds. Do 5 seconds of research.
I'm sure they might have mentioned George Bush or the administration at the time, but
yes, multiple times, and they talk about they basically imply, war crimes.
This already seems like it's getting way more political and way more woke. That one's...
You're putting politics in my Borat movie? I will not have this. I just want to laugh at someone who's different than me, not be confronted with what a bad person I might be.
Surprised me either, since the actor Sacha Baron Cohen has been known to have some bad quotes recently. He's been bashing Trump and getting totally woke like the rest of Hollywood, so that's already a bad sign.
Uh-oh, someone thinks Orange Man bad. I better start saying someone's indoctrinated while I wave this American flag.
And then there's the timing of this. It's coming out right before the 2020 election.
Yeah, that'd be why. It's timely. They want to get it out before the election because it's, like, relevant to what's happening right now. They mention COVID in the movie, so you want to get that out soon while it's still timely.
I mean, that's cool. That's soon. You can see why they want to capitalize on the current event. But it really, to me, seems like they're trying to sway the election. They're trying to...
King Daddy Trump. He's such a powerful man that Borat 2 can sway the election. I can't with these people. I cannot. Chud Watch is canceled permanently. Trump would have won that second election if it weren't for
Nothing funny about the
Borat 2. Fun. Enlid. So did Dinesh D'Souza with his dumb documentaries. Where were your videos then? No BS.
Get in there and be political and kind of like make Pence and Trump look stupid so that people won't...
Hey, no BS. I hate to break it to you, but to someone who isn't like a far-right person who only watches Fox News or Onan or any of those stupid places, Trump already looks like an idiot. You really don't have to do anything to be like, wait a minute, I thought Trump was a reasonable, intelligent individual until I saw Borat 2. No. Nope. Most people realize Trump is an idiot. Hate to break it to you.
Vote for them, that kind of thing. It seems politically motivated, which isn't a good sign for comedy. It's not a good sign for the Borat series. Like, this was a very funny series that, again, wasn't...
There was one movie. Why are you acting like it's this long-running... Like, there's one. We didn't ever expect a sequel. Now there's the second one. And they're both talking about politics of the day in which they were made.
That political before. It definitely referenced stuff. It definitely goofed on Bush and I'm sure other politicians. But the fact that it's coming out like this right before the election too is a very interesting thing. And then on top of that, it's being released by Amazon, which is owned by Jeff Bezos, of course. He owns the Washington Post too.
Sacha Baron Cohen made the movie, because the Borat movies are cheap to make, as you might imagine. He just takes a camera crew somewhere and pretends he's filming a documentary. It's basically hinging on his performance as Borat and the humor that he can elicit by interacting with people. And then Amazon bought the rights. I don't think Amazon went to Cohen and said, hey, can you make another Borat movie? I think he wanted to make a Borat movie, and then he shopped it around. Like, he recently, in the last couple of years or whenever, did that show on, I think it was Showtime, or maybe it was Stars, called, like, This is America, or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't seen it. I've heard it's good, but I just thought it would stress me out. I can't deal with it. So he probably shopped it around, similar to that, and Amazon just happened to pick it up, because I'm sure a lot of people will watch it. It's Borat. Borat, the first one, was like a cultural phenomenon in the early 2000s, so it makes sense for people to want to see the sequel.
And he's just a very liberal guy. He uses his companies and his billions of dollars to try and influence things. And all this goes together. This is a bad turn, a bad spin. It's a very poisonous pot that they're brewing here. And I'm curious where it's going to go. That's why I wanted to talk about it today and give you guys that background. And now we'll get to more of the story and the details. Borat is making his way back to a screen near you, and Vice President Mike Pence's name appears to be used in the title. Actor Sacha Baron Cohen is returning as the controversial character he played in the 2006 Borat Cultural Learnings of America for Make Benefit Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan. The original film, written and produced by Cohen, follows the titular
Kazakhstan, not Kazakhstan.
Their character, a Kazakh television personality, as he explores America. Amazon plans to release the film before the 2020 presidential election. So there's a little more background about the film. Apparently he's from Kazakhstan. This is more like a country similar to like Afghanistan or something like that, close to Iran and those kinds of countries in the Middle East. And yeah, essentially it was a goof.
It's sort of an Eastern European, it's supposed to be like a former Soviet bloc nation that's sort of, north of the Middle East. Where's Kazakhstan in real life? Not a geography person. Kazakhstan. Country in Central Asia. Kazakhstan. Yeah, Kazakhstan. It's supposed to be like right here under Russia. Next to China, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, lots of stands. You get it.
I think the skit actually came from his show. Sacha Baron Cohen had an Ali G show that had a couple other characters on it. He's a character actor. Very funny. I appreciate his acting. I used to enjoy these movies too, but as I said, he's been getting increasingly woke. It's super hard to watch. And
I like that this is just a revelation that No BS didn't understand any of the previous movies that Sacha Baron Cohen has made, and he doesn't realize it. Man, I really liked Sacha Baron Cohen until he got all political. I used to enjoy Bruno and how it definitely didn't have any commentary on how Americans think of gay people, or Borat, which definitely didn't have any commentary on how redneck dumb fucks in America's flyover area think of people from other countries. Wow.
Super disappointing. Like, this is the trend with a lot of comics and a lot of media these days. This is another big issue with this story. It's just that comics keep getting more and more woke. They're getting more political and biased. They're not...
Hate to break it to you. Comics have always been political. Pretty much always. Like, all biting comedy tends to have some element of political stuff in it. And that's fine. Like, No BS. Dave Chappelle, I think he won an Emmy for this, actually, did a special where he, is talking about how he's, sick of PC culture and all that stuff. I don't agree with Dave Chappelle in that, and I think that's a stupid thing to complain about, especially considering he can say whatever he wants, but if he gets criticism, you get criticism. But, that's political, but I don't see No BS saying that, oh, we shouldn't have Dave Chappelle involved in politics or whatever in regard to that, right? All stand-up comedy, not all of it, Jeff Dunham isn't out here, making political statements, but, a lot of top-tier stand-up comedy will involve some commentary on the modern world, and you can't talk about the modern world without talking about politics. There are some people who lean into it more and talk about politics very explicitly, and there are some people who sort of don't. But, like, there's plenty of comedians all throughout American history, as far as we've had, like, the modern stand-up comic that talk about politics. Look at, oh god, what's his name? Lenny Bruce? Is that the name? Who had a bunch of comedy bits that were considered offensive at the time, but they were, like, biting commentaries on racism in the United States. Like, not a new thing.
Playing it safe, or like, you know, they're not playing it down the middle or making fun of both sides. And yeah, you could see that this is a bad sign that this movie is...
You don't have to make fun of both sides in every situation. There are plenty of things to make fun of Democrats for. I agree. I'm a leftist, so I definitely think there are things to make fun of Democrats for. But if we're talking literally about, like, the left in the United States as it exists, leftists are an extreme minority. There's not very many leftists, unfortunately, and that's, you know, we'll continue to work on that, but that's fine. I understand my place in the political spectrum of the United States. But if we're talking about leftism and the left as it exists in the United States, most of it is packed towards the center left. You have, you know, liberals. And if we're talking about them versus Donald Trump, it's no contest in who is the funnier person to make fun of. Who is the more relevant person to make fun of, especially now, you know, after 4 years of destructiveness that has come out of the Trump presidency. There are absolutely things you can make fun of Democrats for. I've done it. I do it. But, like, Donald Trump is a parody of a human being, and it makes a lot of sense to make fun of him.
Going down the drain, possibly. I mean, it could still be good, but we're going to have to wait and see, I guess. The streaming giant confirmed Tuesday that it has acquired worldwide rights to the film. It is reportedly titled Borat, Gift of Monkey to Vice Premier Mikhail Pence to make benefit recently diminished nation of Kazakhstan. So they're...
For some reason, they, like, the day before they did the trailer, they said it was Gift of Pornographic Monkey, when it was actually Gift of, like, whatever it was, you know, Prestigious Bride or whatever it was supposed to be. I guess they were hiding the fact that Borat had a daughter, even though the title isn't explicitly saying it's his daughter, but I don't know.
Definitely referencing Mike Pence in there. They're getting the new long title. That's how Borat was originally. It's still going to be funny, I'm sure. It's kind of a long time. I guess they had to wait because it definitely got a little played out. Like I mentioned, the thing was so popular. The quotes from Borat was like going on and on and on. Like the "my wife" quote, he used to say, "my wife." You know, he would say these quotes and people were...
I find it interesting that "my wife" became a thing in and of itself, because I don't think in the movie Borat ever just says, "my wife." He's usually talking about his wife. He'll be like, "My wife, she," and then he'll tell like a story. Like, "My wife, she go into the woods and she killed by bear with brother Bilo," you know, like he'll tell a story, but he doesn't just go, "my wife." Like, he doesn't just go around saying that. That's not a criticism of anyone. I just find it funny how, like, people will take things out of context and, like, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Repeated them for over and over, and that goes to show the power.
Or he'll say, like, "My wife, she say, if I look at other women, she will break my balls," like something like that, you know? He doesn't just go around going, "I am a Borat, my wife." That's not how it works.
Power of this enterprise, of this, you know, franchise. It's very popular. It's very, you know, hilarious at times, but also over the top. And I think they're kind of jumping the shark here and going way down the political rabbit hole. We'll see. The movie could still be funny. This could just be
no BS. Please go watch the first Borat movie. TubeMan642, thank you for subscribing. 2-month streak. Thank you.
One joke in the movie, like how it was when they goofed on, say, George Bush or other political things in the original movie, but it's not looking good, especially since, you know, it's involved with Amazon.
Dude spanking dudes with 10 bits. He definitely wouldn't be saying this if Borat was on the right side. Oh yeah, for sure. They're hypocrites. It's hilarious.
Reports have steadily accumulated about the project throughout the summer as it was filmed in secret during the pandemic. Cohen originated the character of Borat Sagadiyev, a fictional Kazakh journalist, on his series The Ali G Show. The 2006 film, directed by Larry Charles, grossed $262 million worldwide and was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay at the 79th Academy Awards. That's funny. I didn't know it was nominated for an award. The other thing worth mentioning here, there's a couple other headlines, like this one says, Sacha Baron Cohen credits Donald Trump for Who is America. This was a show, like a failed show he tried to make. This was a big sign.
It wasn't a failed show. What do you mean a failed show? It did very well. I think it got nominated for a bunch of Emmys. He just only wanted to do it a lot like Borat. You can only do it so much with the character without people being like, oh, we know who that this is Sacha Baron Cohen.
I believe we talked about it in a video a few years back when it happened. And essentially, Sacha tried to make a new show and it got way too woke. It was like I was saying with this movie.
It's not woke, bud. I gotta stop saying bud. It's not woke. It's just pointing out the ridiculousness of right-wing politicians in this country. That's not in and of itself woke. Logarth, as a bull furry, I really don't like this guy for his portrayal of bovid kind.
That's why I'm worried about this movie. It was just all about bashing America. The original Borat was more about, yeah, there were jokes about America. He was from this other country and he thought these kind of stereotypical things about Americans. And, you know, there were jokes in there, but it's gone further where it's just like...
He really, really, really doesn't understand why Borat's funny. I really think he just doesn't. Maybe he hasn't seen it since 2006 and he just has a completely, like, false memory about what Borat is. But it strikes me as he's seen Borat and he just really doesn't get why other people find it funny. You're not supposed to be like, ha 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 ha, Eastern Europeans. You're supposed to be like, this stereotype is stupid, and it's very, very funny that so many dumb people think that it's so real that he can do these things to their face and they believe him.
Like, oh, he hates Trump, he hates America. He's not from here, too. Like, he's from, I think, Britain or something. He's like a foreigner who bashes on America like a little too much.
I think he's from the UK. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to comment on other people's, like, political goings-on, especially if it's America, considering the politics in America affect the rest of the world pretty heavily.
Doesn't ever go after his country or talk about his affairs. He's like kind of...
Look, I haven't seen the Ali G show. Something tells me that he's definitely done the same bit, but with UK politicians.
More invested in the United States. The other article and headline I want to mention before moving on, up here in the corner it says, Sacha Baron Cohen uses Borat promotion to mock Donald Trump during debate. So the debate was a couple nights ago, and apparently he was bashing Trump. You know, it's just showing his bias. He's not a center player. He's not going...
You literally, if you are a comedian or an actor of any kind, you need to be completely center. And if my candidate of choice is a fascist, you can't say that, because then I'll be mad. And I'll put an even bigger red hat on my bull fursona. Suck it, libs. Querulous Artisan with 10 bits. Ramstein has a son that is commentary of America, but Ramstein has a song that is commentary of America, but they are German. How dare they? You know.
Going after Biden, as far as I could see. I don't see any references to him like going after Biden, who's definitely ripe for parody. I mean, this guy...
It wouldn't surprise me, and again, he might not, I don't know. But, like, it wouldn't surprise me if in the Borat sequel there's some, like, I don't know, maybe they'll interview a Biden... Not Biden himself. I don't think they'll either get, Biden or Trump themselves. But, like, someone who works for Biden and they do interviews for him or something. What do they call those? Why am I blanking on the term? Someone who basically goes on news shows and does interviews in the stead of the actual candidate. So yeah, there'll probably be a joke or two at Biden. It would not surprise me at all. But yeah, you're gonna insult Trump more because Trump is a worse person. Wind Surrogate, that's the word I was thinking of. Thank you. Thank you, Lucas Dawn. Windchanter with 10 bits. If he doesn't like it, he can get out of my country while the rest of us work hard to make it better. True.
Is a total joke. Biden is just falling apart every single day, and no one...
nothing funny
People
about
on the
tools
right
of
live in an
capitalism.
absolutely warped, different dimension, don't they? Antipodian Squid. Morning, friends. Oh, Hannah, that lipstick shade is stunning. Thank you.
No one even wants to talk about it on the left. They act like he's a great candidate when he's really not. But for more information,
Who are you talking to where the left is like, yeah, Joe Biden's the best candidate ever. He's amazing. Yeah, no. A lot of people don't think that's the case, but they're still going to vote for him because the other option is Donald Trump.
let's go on this one. This was from the debate. He uses the promotion to mock Trump. The actor released a video taking Trump to task on issues like the virus and race. So they're very much going after current events. It was filmed during the pandemic, as they said, in secret. So it's going to be topical. I'm very interested to see how it goes. Like, I'm very curious about this, but I don't have high hopes. Like I said, it's not looking good. It's looking like it's going to be woke as Sasha has gone more and more down this liberal rabbit hole. Sacha Baron Cohen took advantage of the attention the first presidential debate of 2020 attracted to lambast Donald Trump with a promotion for his new film. How original. Wow, he's really being edgy, siding with all of mainstream media and all the establishment to bash Trump. I mean,
I know this might shock people on the right, but not every joke needs to be edgelord material. It's completely fine to be like, hey, you know that president that we all hate? He sucks, right? Yeah, he does. That's fine. You don't need to be edgy in order to be funny all the time.
What happened to comics being edgy and different? These guys just go along with this stuff now. The outlandish stunt comic is forging ahead with this
Me no like that comics are mean to Orange Man.
sequel to his 2006 comedy Borat. The film saw him star as a fictional journalist from Kazakhstan coming to the United States to see what the country is like. Deadline reported Tuesday that
Kazakhstan, not Kazakhstan. It's a real country. Do you not know how to say Kazakhstan?
to the film will premiere at the end of October on Amazon Prime Video, just before the election. In an effort to drum up support for the new sequel, Cohen began a fake Twitter account for the Republic of Kazakhstan on September 27th, on the night of the debate.
Like, does he think there's an A here after this second K? There's not. Kazakhstan.
Account released a video mocking Trump as a favorite candidate in the country. Congratulations to great friend of Kazakh people at Real Donald Trump for winning debate today. Impressive and amazing result for a strong premier who always put America and Kazakhstan first. So here's the video. I'm not sure if we could check it out. It might be some copyrights, but I think you guys get the point. He's making this account. He's bashing Trump. He's not really giving a lot of humor to it. Like, he's just going political and anti-Trump. And it's just like, I'm not trying to be...
Sacha Baron Cohen as Borat literally shits in the planter outside of Trump Tower in the first Borat movie. Borat was shitting on Donald Trump before it was cool, okay? So let's not act like this is new.
He's stiff here. Like, I could take a few jokes. I've had some of my favorite comics make fun of Trump before. I wouldn't say Sacha Baron Cohen is one of my favorites. He's just a funny one and a very legendary one for the American zeitgeist, for sure. But a lot of people don't like him, too. A lot of people got sick of Borat or never liked it. Like, I'm not trying to say it was like the end-all, be-all, but in 2006, it was a pretty big deal. So now let's take a second and check out this video. It appears to be a voiceover with Borat in it, too. So let's see how it sounds.
He not racist. Black guys love him so much they kneel before him. Trump never had stroke. He protector of women's. He hero of war. Biden's breath so...
Did he jump over? Is this in the original video, or did No BS literally skip over the punchline where it's Donald Trump with what's his face? Didn't kill himself. Why am I forgetting his name? Jeffrey Epstein.
He protector of women's.
No BS cut out the shot where
Trump
he's with
never
him.
had stroke. He protector of women's. He hero of...
He cut it. Uh-oh. Sacha Baron Cohen accurately showed the president hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein at a party and leering at women. Better cut around it. By the way, I'm No BS. What a joke.
Had stroke. He protector of women's.
You know what? Let's verify this before I make that claim. Let's see if in the original. Borat on Trump. Do 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 do.
Donald Trump, strongest premier in history. He not racist. Black guys love him so much they kneel before him. Trump never had stroke. He protector of women's.
He did cut it out! No BS, cut it out! Oh my god!
Hero of war.
He literally cut out, literally, he cut out a section that all it does is literally show actual video of Donald Trump hitting on women with Jeffrey Epstein. What a bullshitter. I cannot believe he thought he could get away with that and people wouldn't be like, hello, you cut out the Jeffrey Epstein thing.
He hero of war.
Kinda sensory of you, no BS. Weird.
There's nothing funny
Biden's
about
breath
the tools
so
of
bad he
capitalism.
forced to wear mask. Because of
No BS, more like all BS.
Trump, 350 million Americans still alive. Trump
That's a good joke.
never had stroke.
Okay, so some pretty weak attack pretending he had a stroke and there's something wrong with Trump. I mean, there's some humor in there. Like, I'm not totally against it. I'm not seeing it here. It's just a little taste. But I imagine his whole movie's going to be like this, like a good part of it. I think it's going to go down the woke rabbit hole.
Fuck it, I'm commenting this. You literally took the time to cut out the footage of Trump with Epstein. You hack? No BS. More like all BS. That's not an original joke, but here we are. Yeah, I'm liking my own thing. Deal with it.
And just get way too political. Deadline knows that the upcoming sequel was made very surreptitiously, with Cohen scrambling a team together to shoot as soon as the COVID restrictions were eased. Although he reportedly followed all the safety protocols in place, he took great pains to ensure that the movie was both done before the election and filmed in secret. So this was meant to be a surprise. That's an interesting way to go about it. Nothing wrong with that there, but I think this is going to be set up to be a disaster. I'm not sure. I hope it's funny. I don't know though, because Borat was already borderline like immature and stupid when it came out, but at that time it was great for me. 14 years ago I was in a different place though. I'm sure a lot of you might think differently. Borat probably sounds stupid to a lot of you. I just remember it from back in the day, and I could see that Sacha Baron Cohen has totally just kind of ruined his franchises and his career. That about wraps things up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed what you saw. Subscribe if you're new, and hit the bell for notifications too. Until next time, have a great day.
There's a link to the video if you want to check it out, or if you want to, like my comment. Whatever.